Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. How are those cats?
Oh, they're doing okay. I put them in the room so they don't bother me.
Would they?
So
Would they bother you?
they'll be climbing all around and everything. I can't deal with that.
I know what you mean.
How are yours?
Mine are good. One of them's out here. The other two are in the bedroom.
Yeah, that's good. So what else is new? I finished The Silent Sister last night.
How did you think of it? I haven't started it yet.
Oh, it was good. It kept me pretty captivated. So
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to it then, because I did take I took what out of the library today? Something that Elisa Jewell. And I got kind of into those, but then I read one that I thought was horrific with something that happened, and I wish I had. And I pulled another Agatha Christie. So
okay.
I don't know if you saw on Sunday on PBS. I should have gotten in touch with you, but I didn't know about it either. They did an hour documentary on her life.
Oh, they did. Oh, cool.
Yeah, and if I can find it, I can, I'll see if I can send it to you. Pretty interesting. She apparently recorded everything. So she did it as soon as the reel-to-reel tapes came up. She was recording all of these conversations with people. Her grandson was on it, and he said that she really listened to you when you told a story, but then he said, but it may end up in her book, in a book. So, but I think that was really wonderful and interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Jean, Alex, hello.
What's up?
Jean, are you cooking us dinner, Alex?
Yeah, cooking. Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
I didn't hear anything from Paula or Joyce, but I imagine they're attending.
What happened?
I didn't hear anything from Paula or Joyce, but I imagine they're attending.
They're attending. I talked to them.
Oh, here's Joyce. And I did not hear from Deb, so I don't know about her.
Hello.
Hi, Joyce. Hi, Joyce.
Hi.
I guess we should wait a few minutes to see if Paula's coming.
She's coming.
Oh, okay. Everybody cold enough?
Oh, yeah. Chilly out.
I know, I was surprised. But it's been so mild. There's,
Wait till Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday.
that's what they said.
A high of 29.
Oh, not looking forward to that. My dogs are too old.
Well, in January, I guess.
Yeah, this is true. January is usually the coldest month, so we've been pretty lucky, I guess. Kind of.
As long as there's no snow.
Yeah.
And yeah, the ice and everything. I didn't check the COVID totals for Seymour. They usually come out around now on Thursday night.
Oh, hold on. Excuse me 1 minute.
Sure.
The numbers are down to 4 point something.
Really? That would be fantastic. Here's Paula.
I'm back.
Okay, I think other than Deb, I think everybody's in. Let's get Paula unmuted.
Better?
Yes, thank you.
I don't know what the heck happened here. Okay. All right, I'd like to call the meeting further at 6:02. And could you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance
To the flag
To the flag
of
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty
with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry, stamp flags were the only thing I could do.
That's pretty good.
Okay, I hope everybody is doing well, staying COVID-free, hunkering in the bunker. I don't know what else to tell you, comment on at this point in time. So we have tonight's agenda. Has everybody had an opportunity to go through the minutes from the December meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any changes that need to be made? Anybody? Looks good?
Mm.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Thank you, Joyce. Second?
Second.
Second.
Okay, Alex? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. Okay, next is approval of the monthly treasurer's report through December. Questions, comments, anybody? Okay.
I had a couple of things.
Say that again, Alex, I'm sorry.
So when we had this treasurer's report here, going forward, I'd like to know what we're buying.
Okay, well, before we get to that
I-
part, as we're
Because
on-
I have, it says books, adult, $1,500. How many books?
Okay,
I don't have a breakdown of anything. I just have numbers.
I'm sorry, to be honest, that was something that we had done last year, and I did forget to do that for this season.
okay, if you could start putting in a list of books, but I'd like to, with regards to the monthly treasurer's report, I have a couple of questions, please.
Sure.
I looked at the dollars available, and we have auto support. I know we spent the $1,143 in September, but can you refresh me as to what that was for?
I'm sorry, the 1443 in September?
Yeah,
I'm going to have to talk to Lisa. I honestly don't. It may have been because we were going up to Windows 10 and we do have to pay Bibliamation. We can use auto support for that. However, it does not ring a bell that I thought we had a lot with Bibliamation. So I'm going to have to check. I'm going to have to check the records for that.
my concern is that we're 6 months through the year and we only have 29% left on the budget.
Let me get my, I'm sorry, I just want to get a pencil, so I forgot to bring one so that I can highlight that.
How much, what did you say, Paula? How much did we go through the budget?
Okay, what I'm talking about, Alex, is on this. You can see it
Yeah,
right on this sheet. If you go down 1, 2, 3 line items, it says auto support, and we had $2,000
okay.
in the budget for that. And if you look all the way over to the right, percent available of dollars, it's 29%.
Oh, that's what we have left. Oh, I
Yeah, so it's all, my rule of thumb is like for 6 months of budgeting, you want to be roughly at approximately 50%. You can be within a couple percent here and there. And then, as Suzanne would tell you, there are certain times when we have subscriptions that come due. So we have a month that might be heavier than other months. And the other months, diminish. So I just want to find out, the 29%, we have to reallocate budget funds if we need to spend more for the rest of the fiscal year.
I was,
Also, going down that list, I see like books, adults are 35% available.
Well,
You go
yeah,
down.
right, but I'm talking about the line
I
item one above
see.
that. Okay,
What's that one? And then supplies, all the way 23%. So what happens I'm just asking, if we run out of that, is there something else we could take it from, or what happens?
Then we need to look at where we can reallocate dollars.
Okay, I understand.
I'm going to say that I don't believe that that will happen, and that, and I actually have my other Chromebook here, so I was trying to look through September emails, because sometimes I can remember what we've done if I see an email, but I'm not seeing anything that strikes my memory. We're probably going to, yeah, go ahead.
If you have your Chromebook, whatever you're doing, you're coming through loud and clear, which is great.
Oh, good. Thank you. That's good. I'll look it up. As soon as I get to the library tomorrow, I'll look it up. I'm going to say that some things, the supplies we did spend a lot on, because we bought a lot of, Lisa bought a lot of the PPE stuff so that we'd have it. So ultimately, we hope we have enough to see us through the end of the year.
We have a fund in town for that. That went through Tom Amy. They have a PPE fund.
Oh, then I'll talk to him about that. We had tried asking about that when we opened up in June, and I'd gotten nothing on that. So I'll talk to him about that.
Okay, so she should talk to who, Alex?
Or Tony. They have, I think they have funds available for the PPE.
Okay, I'll talk to them.
Yeah, if you could check that out, because then that would not hit our budget, right? And then
Yes.
my other question is the line item underneath with regards to we're down to 35% of funds for adult books.
Yes, and that's actually going to be one of the agenda items. When we had talked about the money from last year that needed to go into the Hamel Fund,
Right.
to make the Hamel Fund work, we're having a problem because we didn't have a children's librarian for a while. So I believe Rebecca is going to be promoted now. Ultimately, she's not able to spend $11,000 by June. So that was one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about the Hamel Fund, but there's also another issue that we need to talk about the Hamel Fund.
Okay.
So ultimately, I was going to ask you if you wanted me to put the money that we said that we were going to put to last year so that we spent all the money, or since I haven't heard anything from them, if we should just use funds from the 11,000 that is for juvenile.
Let's wait till we get there, because Mike, if you have that as an agenda item, let's do
It is, because I mean, I don't want to jump the agenda, but well, let's not jump the agenda, and I'll do it when we call for it.
All right. Okay, so those were questions. So right now, with regards to the approval of the monthly treasurer's report for December 2020, we asked questions on that. We'll wait to hear answers, right? And you can, if you have an opportunity, you can just like send out
An email? Yep.
Saying, oh, by the way, it was this. Then we'd appreciate that. Okay.
I should be able to do that tomorrow.
So, can I have a motion for approval of the, Joyce, did you have any more questions?
No, I'm good.
Jean? No, we're
Good.
good. Can I have a motion, please? To accept the treasurer's report?
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Joyce. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Jean. Oh, Alex, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. I didn't see your noggins. Oh, there we go. Okay. Anyway, so all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. Okay, library director's monthly report.
Okay, so I've been still putting on each month since we reopened, but I don't know if you want me to stop doing that because it just seems to make it more complicated. But in any case, we were closed 2.5 days in December. We also had a work from home day, which I frankly don't like calling that an open day for because of the snow, because ultimately we can't pack up anybody's books or or do curbside that day. So I don't like calling it that, but that's up to you what you want us to call that, whether you want us to call it a day that we're not open, or if you want to consider us open because we were working from home. So ultimately, there was the total of bags. We were 20 days open, 562. That was 834 items for adult, children 669, YA 65. So, but then there were other things too, some DVDs and things like that. Circulation remains about the same as it has throughout COVID. We circulated 2,241 items, which is including overdrive, which is roughly half of what we do in a normal open month. Staffing, we continue to stagger staff in the building per town hall's wishes to reduce the possibility of COVID infection. Programs, there were 4 virtual programs for the children last month. Not great on attendees, but we really don't expect it in December. We had 10 attendees, Facebook views, which Rebecca did those Facebooks, 6 peak and 190 total views.
What does peak mean?
Oh, that means that if somebody's actually watching Facebook Live while she's doing it. So we put out that it's going to be at 10:30, and there were 6 people that actually, 6 children that showed up at 10:30 to watch. And then we can keep it up one day according to the copyright issues with the books. So she had 190 total views, whether people watched it again or whether that's 190 people, which is actually pretty good.
Yep, okay.
With the adult programs, I only had 3. We only had, 45 attendees. The doppelgangers, I think we had about 26 for that. The Colonial Christmas, we had a few. And then book club, we're meeting at the Land Trust, so I think we were down to about 6 or 7. Some people don't want to meet, but then nobody wants to do Zoom because it's difficult for a book club. So that's where that went. The work in the building for the grant is largely completed. Jarvis is still doing the wireless, so we don't have full wireless capability in the building yet, but we should within a week or 2. And when it comes to the town budgets, the budgets are due in town hall tomorrow, actually. But I didn't have a firm date for the presentation. I do now. It's going to be, and I can send this through email too, so that everybody gets it in a hard copy. It's going to be Wednesday, February 10th. They told us, Mary told me a time of 7, but usually they go earlier than that. So, and I did ask Mary, and I tried to get in touch with Doug. I ended up looking on the town website today, and it looks like it's going to be a town hall meeting in the Norma Drummer Room. I didn't know whether it would be virtual or not. So that should be February 10th. I will send that around through email as well.
All right,
February, sorry.
Do you have any do you know if it's going to be live at town hall or if it's going to be Zoom? Has anybody said anything for the budget meeting in February? Alex?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I never really found out.
I looked at the agenda on the website, and it said Norma Drummer Room. I don't know if they're going to change that. I don't know why, I don't know, ultimately. So I'll keep my mouth shut on that one until I find out. February spending, and this is where normally I think, Paula, you would ask for this, and I completely forgot to do it. And I didn't ask Rebecca for it either. Adult books, normally I would put something like 78 at 2,500. DVDs, something at 500. And I could send you that information tomorrow because I can talk to Rebecca and Lisa. And then juvenile would be normally, I know that it's, the Nutmeg books are coming out, and that's a pretty big thing for the library and for Connecticut children. So she's going to be ordering more. And she also should officially be the children's librarian by the time that happens. March spending, I put down 2,500 and 2,000 for juvenile because we're going to try and stick within those budgets. So that's it.
Okay. All right. Anything else for your report?
Not at this point, no.
Would it be possible for you to put together a list of everything that's been done via the grants that you?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
And then I guess I would like to improve communication on that so that we can understand what you're applying for. Maybe, you know, everybody on the board has a lot of experience. Maybe we can help you with suggestions or other, I don't know, opportunities for better usage of funding. You know, I don't know how else to put it.
We can do that. In this case, libraries, that I had a representative come in and tell us what they wanted us to do. So that's pretty much what happened. I mean, I will say that I pushed for the bathroom floors, and I did tell them that I had looked up and saw that there was an antibacterial tile, which was not on their radar. That was something that they did not want to do, but they did allow that to be done. And it was an antibacterial tile. It was done by All Premier Flooring. So they did a good job, and I have to say I think that looks great in there.
Okay. So the floors are done in both bathrooms now?
Yes.
Okay. And what about the covers on the handles?
Alex, I think, did that.
Okay. So that's all set, Alex?
Yeah.
Right, great. Any public comment?
No.
Thank you, Jess.
They said they're having Zoom meetings for budget.
I couldn't catch you, Alex. I'm sorry.
I got a confirmation back from Tom that they're doing Zoom for budget.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
That they're what?
They're doing Zoom meetings for budget.
They're doing what?
Zoom.
Oh, Zoom. Okay, Zoom. Okay, got it. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay, old business, library website.
So we have 3 sites that are being worked on now, so that's moving along.
I don't understand 3 sites.
Well, we decided to try Wix as a platform because one of the person does know a lot about Wix. So going into, rather than just the Elementor site that I had started, that one I actually turned over to Rebecca so that she could see what she could do with it because she knows HTML. And then the 3rd site is one that, another Wix site that we're working on. We're going to check and see which one people want us to, we're going to do a front page, one front page or the entry page, home page, and then see which people want us to go forward with.
And what's the estimated timeline for this?
It's tough to say. It depends on how much time we can put onto it, but I'd like to see it up within, I'd like to see it up by March 1st. We are having a difficulty with Bibliomation. They were hacked again. So I would like to see us move away from Bibliomation as a hosting company for us. I just think that would be great because today we had, there was a Bibliomation board meeting and I do sit on the board. So I did hear a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have heard under normal circumstances. And hacking has been pretty bad. And that even today we lost more functionality with the website. They were able to bring it, the current one that we have, they were able to bring it back up, but I do not have confidence in them going forward.
Why aren't we having a professional do our website? What is the problem with this? Why are we having everybody in the world working on our website when we should have, it should be going out and a professional should be doing it?
Well, that was...
Does anybody who's doing these websites have degrees in doing this?
No, this was something that, Alex, this was something we proposed. We asked for funding for it. It was, there is one gentleman.
I'm trying to understand. I'm just trying to be brought back up the page. Reading this, I thought we were using somebody. Maybe I missed something down the road.
Were you here last month?
I said update. I thought we were having somebody. Hold on. Where's my minutes? Maybe I read it wrong. I thought maybe. I don't know why we're not paying professional people to do that.
Ultimately, what I ended up deciding was to go with, get something up fast and ultimately look for grants so that we could pay a professional to do it. There were also a couple of emails that went around.
So we're gonna try to get a grant and we do this. So everybody that's working on the website is, whatever, trying to make it nice for a temporary basis, we're wasting their time. That's what.
Well, not necessarily. I'm doing my work off hours, and ultimately, Rebecca tells me what she wants done, and then I do it. So most of the stuff is being done by me off hours. So I'm not wasting anybody's time. However, I mean, if there were somebody that we could hire to do it, and I know I felt that Peter was not necessarily, his heart may not have been in it. I mean, we talked to him, I met with him with Paula on October 3rd. I still hadn't heard anything in the email said that he would get in touch with me in a few days. It has nothing to do with Peter. I thought he was a great person. If he wanted to do the hosting or something in the future, that would be great with me. And we just want something up fast.
That's the problem. This is the problem. A lot of things do in this town fast, and then it shows.
Alex, we put this on the agenda in May. At that time, I followed the board's directives. I looked at other websites. We talked to people who liked websites. So I'm not saying that this should be a fast thing. That's why I'm going for a grant.
Update on the current about. Okay, maybe I've read it.
Okay, well, let me just clarify. First of all, Suzanne, when you and I met with Peter, we did not give him a set date, right? We should have, and I didn't think of doing it. We did not do it, so we did not give him a set date for a proposal. Right?
Peter and I did email, and he was going to get back in touch with me in a few days. I can understand a few days, Paula, but from October 3rd to December.
Okay, all I'm saying is that when the three of us met at the library, we didn't give him a set date. He said he would get back to you, and then you told me that he did not get back to you, right? And
I mean, a couple of months later, yeah.
Well, in subsequent discussion, he was going to have it work on it over Christmas because he does work full time. So what I did was I told him that it was your choice to pursue another avenue, and that we would pursue this avenue. Where I have confusion is that if we had somebody available to do this back in March, when you first asked for the funds, why was this not presented to us in March?
That was not, that person, for one, we know that I spent my own time trying to learn how to do a website. I'm not great. We'll say right off, I'm not great. At the time, we had to wait until May because we didn't have board meetings for 2 months. So I knew we needed something. I knew that our website was terrible. And ultimately in May, I asked. When the person that is helping us in town hall was not available during that time because their building was actually open. Now their building is not open. So it seemed like a perfect opportunity. I do want to see a good website. If Peter wanted to do something and came up with a proposal, that would be fine. And
I've already.
Yeah, I know.
That's already been.
I know. And I really liked him, and I thought he knew. I don't know how much he knew about design, but I do think that he knew whatever's going on with bibliomation and the hacking. I think he would have been phenomenal at stopping that.
Well, he's been. I would prefer not to continue beating a dead horse. Okay.
Right.
He's more than adequately qualified. He's taught at the college level for HTML design and how to put up a website. And he's taught it, and I thought he would be a good way.
I liked him tremendously.
Okay, so that's it. We'll pursue whatever it is that you want to do. My concern is I just don't want to see if there's somebody who's doing it, then they should be doing it, and it shouldn't be something that you're putting additional time into.
I mean, as I said, the additional time is just my own specific time because and I'm fine doing it. I will have to say the Wix platform makes it very easy to do it, but I also am aware of my limitations. I mean, I'm doing my best. But I will say it is something that somebody professional needs to do. And
What does the professional website cost?
well, we didn't know what Peter was going to charge. So that would be up to him if he were still. It cost, the lowest I came up with was $3,500. There are various rates for it. So ultimately, when $3,500, and I would have to say that that was a site that I thought was okay, that other people thought was okay, and we did present to the board. But we presented it along with 5 others websites.
Oh, I wasn't there that night. That's what happened.
I did a little printout and sent it to people, or it would have been in the packets, I believe.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna open something like that.
Well, in any case, let's pursue what you've started. In actuality, I had been hoping that March 1st, I was hoping more like, by the end of January as opposed to March 1st. Because, when we had talked previously, we were hoping by the 1st of the year. So.
Well, no, I never said that. When people asked when it would go up, I said people needed to learn HTML if we were going to go that route. We didn't even make this decision. I said that I wouldn't even be talking to the person that was involved until the beginning of January.
All right. Okay. Anything else on the website?
No.
Okay, tables in the library, new developments. We have the idea that we'll do plexiglass on them. I got back in touch with Mr. Kroll. I'm waiting to hear from him with regards to getting the work done on the tables. I do believe that he had mentioned working on the tables in the library downstairs because he has equipment that would contain dust. If that's what he can do, then my question is that acceptable to have him come in and work downstairs?
I think that would be preferable. We'd have to talk to Tim Connors about it, I believe, but that makes the most sense.
Okay. Well, could you please speak to Tim so that
Yes.
Understanding,
They're
about
gonna be the same color because we just got 3 more tables in the library. They're white and black, and they match nothing. We can find furniture that never matches.
Alex, I'm sorry, I could not.
Just want to make sure everything matches. I said they're going to match everything because we got a couple more tables in the library, and they don't match anything. We keep buying furniture that never.
Well, the
matches.
3 tables.
We look like an antique. We look like an antique dealer in that library.
If you looked at the 3 tables that we purchased and that I put together this week, those are whiteboards. So that was something that Rebecca wanted, and we did not use library funds for it.
But it doesn't.
Endowment funds. The whiteboards don't.
I don't care what you do with your money. But I'm saying with the library board money going forward, anything that we use, I want to make that we make.
Library board money is specifically you guys, and I always come to you on that.
But I'm just saying, I want to make sure that we smart purchases and we match stuff. It looks like an antique dealer in our library.
All of that,
but they don't match. They're nice tables, but they don't match.
I mean, part of that, Alex, would be that things were purchased in 1958. Some of those tables are still from 1958. We're not going to throw them out.
Throw them all out. Let's throw them all out and buy all the stuff that matches because we look like an antique dealer.
Okay, if you guys want to throw them all out, that's up to you.
What the tables that were bought are what tables?
They're whiteboard tables, so that the kids can create things on them, like the whiteboard tables where they're not. We don't use chalkboard anymore. They're that stuff that you wipe off.
Okay. All right.
Dry erase.
Thank you.
Okay, I understand whiteboard. I forgot dry.
I forgot dry erase. Dry erase is better.
But nothing matches. That's what I'm saying. Everything. We got 40 different colored chairs. We got 85 different stuff. I just, it's time to try to match something. That's all.
All right. Okay. So, action for item number 8 for tables in the library. We're going to have Suzanne, you're going to talk to Tim Connors to make sure it's okay for Mr. Kroll to go in and work downstairs on tables. Right? We'll see about getting tables downstairs once we get a date from him. I'm waiting to hear what his schedule is, okay? We'll go through with matching the finishes as best we can to the new computer tables. And I'm not gonna worry so much about the legs of the tables as opposed to the surface of the tables. Once he
Will he-
gets, go ahead, Alex.
Will he be varnishing inside the building?
He's gonna put on a satin finish. So he's gonna do that. It's gonna be a polyurethane. So we'll see how it shakes out. And then depending on where we are, COVID, et cetera, then we'll make the determination if we have to put plexiglass on them. I know that will take.
I'm just saying because of the smell.
Well, if he's downstairs, he can open the windows and shut the doors, right? So,
Staff do go down there for their lunch breaks, but
okay. Well, we'll still see how that shakes out for smell, okay?
I think it's better downstairs anyway to do
Oh,
it.
yeah. You have
Well,
to be.
here's the story. We'll do the round table first, or one of the tables, the smaller tables. We could do that first, see how it shakes out, and then make a decision from there, right? This way we'll
Perfect.
see where we're going.
Well, my one question actually, are those tables going to all fit in the elevator, or are we going to have to take them outside that way to get them downstairs?
I'm gonna refer to somebody who's an expert on that because I don't have a clue. I would,
Alex?
They're not fitting in an elevator.
I didn't think so.
okay. Well, then it looks like we'll have to figure out getting them.
We're going to have to carry him down the stairs.
Okay. Okay. All right. So there's the answer on that. I was hoping that if worse came to worse, we could like bring them out front, bring them around on a truck, and bring them downstairs, so that we wouldn't have to deal with the stairs, right? So we'd still have to deal with some stairs in any case. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. Old business, front lawn beautification, hiding the HVAC machines from view. We talked about getting them wrapped. I need to have an understanding from Tim or somebody who's familiar with the units as to what would happen if they were covered. I don't want to void out a warranty.
Right.
And I also realize that we're still, I guess, in legal stuff with the contractors, right? For the police building, the library, and I'll say the firehouse. So until we get a ruling on what happens there, whether or not, Alex, do you have anything on the air conditioning HVAC machines? Like, can we wrap them, not wrap them? Have they settled the lawsuit yet?
They're still working on it. They're still in court.
Okay, so that has to be tabled until we have a decision from the town with regards to what's going to happen.
I
Okay?
stepped away from it. Tim Willis said that you could put the tables downstairs, and long as he stands them and he covers the smoke detectors up and then uncovers them, it'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
Great.
That's the fire marshal.
Yep.
Great, okay. Okay, so fire marshal said okay for doing the tables in the basement. Okay, so the front lawn beautification, hiding the HVAC machines from view is on hold until we get a ruling from the town on what's taking place with the lawsuit. Just one comment with the front lawn beautification. Again, I just want to say, Alex, thank you for the deer that looked really good. And it was really nice that now that Christmas is over, they were put away. So I don't like it when Christmas decorations stay up until, St. Patrick's Day.
They were going to be taken down a week sooner, but we had with the storm and everything, it put us behind it a little bit. But we like to get everything down the way.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, you did a good job.
If we could, hopefully, we could set some money aside for next year to add to it.
Yeah. Field of deer. Okay. Library credit card, follow up.
So Joyce got in touch with me right after the last meeting because we had talked about her going and changing the address. And we didn't know if Ion Bank was open for people to go into the building. I gave them a call. They forwarded me to Kendra, and I told her the situation. And first she said it shouldn't have happened. And what actually happened was that we ordered the laptops from Costco. We used my Costco card, but when I had them, when we did the shipping, it was going to be shipped to the library. And then when we put in Joyce's credit card, it was Joyce's address that we put. So is what caused Costco to say, hold up. Understandable. So Kendra told me that that shouldn't have happened. Then when I explained fully, like I just did then, she said, oh, well, that's because you're not supposed to be using the credit card because it was made for Joyce specifically. Now I know that that's not what she told Joyce.
Right, she didn't tell me that. I told her it's the library. And she must have put my address in because I had a sign for it there, but that she knew it was for the library. 'Cause that's
No, and I know that. I think
I don't have an account there, so I don't know why it was in my name.
Well, I think because you and Paul are signers, and I think that ultimately she really had to protect herself with what she told me. I think she was willing to let it slide if we used the card, but then this happened, so.
Right. Why can't they use it like as a business card or something and have the library as a business and have that address?
I asked about that, and she said that it would have to be, because of the way that the endowment fund is set up, she's willing, anybody, like all of you, all of the staff, and a library, not a library card, a debit card. But I did talk to Lisa, who would be the person that would, if somebody were going to get a credit card at the library for the library, Lisa would probably be the best person. And she's not comfortable with it. I get it. If you look in the newspaper, there's tons of people that are getting fired all over the world for having a credit card from an organization and using it. Lisa would never do that, but she doesn't want that complication.
Well,
So
here's the issue that I have with people using personal credit cards to make really large purchases. Typically, people get points or cash back or some type of benefit from making large purchases, which is why it's not a good thing to use a personal credit card to make large purchases for the library. So my concern is I would like to have some type of card. It either has to be a debit card or a credit card for use by somebody in the library as opposed to a personal credit card.
well, what I think could happen, now that we know the parameters, is if we leave it status quo on what it is, and we just can't do something where we use my Costco card or somebody else's Costco card that has one address attached to it. I think that ultimately with Joyce's address being on it, that's close enough to the Seymour Public Library. I mean, they're in the same town, that we may not have a problem with it. So ultimately, I think we should leave it as it is. And if we have another problem, then maybe we could do something with that. I would have to say I was the person who put it on my credit card, and I don't get points. I just get interest charged. So ultimately, we did get the check out before the interest was done. But I agree with you. Nobody wants that type of going on.
That's my concern. So we need to come up with some kind of credit card. Joyce, I don't know what your thought is on this. If you want to have a conversation with Kendra to see what we can do that would make it better. But I just, whether the library card is under the name of Seymour Public Library, I really don't care.
She said that can't happen. She said it has to be in a person's name, she said it has to be in a person's name, and it has to be their address that's put on it. It can't be Lisa Omler, Seymour Public, 46 Church Street.
I have a Seymour Land Trust credit card with my name on it, and anybody can use it.
You have a what?
A Seymour Land Trust credit card, debit card from People's Bank with my name on it, and then
And everybody uses it, he said.
Right. And what bank is that?
People's.
Well, then we need, Joyce, do me a favor, call Kendra
Yeah.
tomorrow and see if there's any other way that we can go about this, right? And then if not, then, because we have everything with Ion, correct, Suzanne?
Yes. Yeah.
then we would have to see about switching banks. They have a bank that would support us for doing this. You know, I like Ion because you're local, but they have to come up with some way, Joyce, that we can have.
But People's Bank is open 7 days a week.
I understand that, but then if we do that, then we need to switch accounts.
Joyce, I'm gonna have Chris,
Yeah,
the branch manager, I'm gonna give her your number and have her call you.
okay.
She's our branch manager, and she has us in some programs that makes the land trust money and stuff like that too. So it's pretty good.
All right, well, let's talk to her then, right?
Yeah.
If they have affinity programs that would bring money into the
Yeah,
library.
that's what it's called.
What?
That's what it's called. Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Programs, yeah, then that might be a good way to get money into the library, okay?
Okay.
That was a killer.
Ice. There. You don't like it?
All right, fiscal budget for new business. Anything else on credit cards?
No.
Now,
Okay. Fiscal budget for town hall, 2021 to 2022. Suzanne, you included a sheet for everybody on
Yes.
this. You need to make a change in forget where, but if you go to the sheet, the department detail by line items,
yes.
okay, I need you to go to that sheet. And then in something that you had sent out, the board of directors meeting minutes, so these were the meeting minutes. On the last page of these, I should have said about adding a correction before we approve the minutes. I didn't realize it was on the last page. The library is going to ask for $52,120, not $53,703.
Okay, I'm sorry. $52,120. Does that, I'm sorry, I don't have the minutes in front of me.
Okay. So if you go to the minutes.
Yeah. Oh, let me look them up. Hold on. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. If you go to item 9A,
Yes.
you have 53,703. That should be really 52,120.
Okay.
Okay, so that needs to be corrected. So can I have a motion to make the correction?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, because in this way, it'll just keep everything in sync.
Yeah. I do have to ask a question. Does this mean that we have to say that the minutes were approved with conditions?
Yes,
Okay.
you know that, and that we did a vote on changing the dollar amount, right?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so that's that. Okay. Okay, item number 12, new business, endowment book budget discussion.
So kind of exciting. The total that we're getting, at least this is what they told me, and they sent it to me in print. I mean, we haven't gotten the check yet. The total that we're getting from the Hamel Fund is $67,000, which is about $20,000 more than we normally get. So that's very exciting. I did ask them, and I'm not sure if this is something that the board is going to want to do, but because ultimately, we don't need $67,000 worth of new in-print books, though we will buy it because we'd lose it if we won't. But I did ask them, and they haven't gotten back to me, if it's possible to start purchasing ebooks with that. So we do go with Overdrive, and I think we've had 362 circulations this year, or this month on it. The problem with Overdrive is that that's also a library for books, so that we're using it, Oxford is using it, other libraries are using it, so that when our patrons go in, and we do have the opportunity to buy specific books. They're expensive. The ebooks are, for some reason, are much more expensive than the print books. But ultimately, if somebody's looking for, say, sorry, why can't I think of a book? Janet Ivanovich book. It could be that since so many libraries are dealing with this, that person may have to wait 3 months for that book, because if it goes out for 2 weeks, if there's enough people that want it, and they're late to doing it, that's an issue with Overdrive. So we would have the option to purchase our own books, which we've never done before, because they're just so expensive, and we never had the money for it. So I don't know if they're going to say, Connecticut Community Foundation runs the Hamel funds. They have the complete right to say what we spend it on and what we don't, as long as we follow the guidelines of buying books. So I haven't heard back from them yet. So I can bring that to you next month. But ultimately, or I can send you an email, because $67,000 with books, I mean, we don't even have the space for that. What we can do, though, is throw out some of the ugly old books that we have and just repurchase if they're still circulating.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, and I know this is probably going to send me into shock, what does an ebook run?
It can run $127, depending on the book. And it was a lot of it's because the publishers are not getting money for that. You know, I don't get it myself, because if we buy a print book for $14, that book can circulate 200 times, and then ultimately we'll throw it out probably because it's just so damaged. With the ebook platform, they're so afraid that they're going to be losing funding that they've made them incredibly expensive. There are some, I don't remember whether it was HarperCollins or who it was, that at one point they were charging about $40 for an ebook, but they would allow you to circulate it 3 times, and then you'd have to repurchase. So it's quite an unfair situation. But you could see, just as they talk about libraries going down because of the internet, so could the publishers.
Well, I think if I had my preference, I like to have books that are touchy-feely.
Yeah.
Get more bang for the buck. So if we have, the extra 20 grand, I'd rather see it beefed up in books that are worn out.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Showing me some that are absolutely just.
Oh, I know, and we have plenty of those. I mean, we're trying to get rid of them, but the problem is that some of them aren't in hardcover. We can buy them on hardcover from Amazon, but we have to pay full price for them as opposed to our $14. But it's still not a bad option, because some of those, like our Godfather, that's so disgusting. I mean, we threw it out, and I did get a large quality paperback with my own funds, but having $20,000 to spend that way would be kind of nice.
I'd rather, instead of going e-drive at this point in time, especially with all the hacking, all the issues, for this particular year, this particular amount, if we could stick with actual books, I would appreciate that. If we end up getting more money next year, we're out of COVID, things are better, but I mean, between hacking and everything that's taken place, there has to be a way to make it more beneficial. Right?
Thank you. Yep.
My take, So if we get more money next year, then we can go back to looking at ebooks. I'd be curious, Jean, what do you think? Jean?
I like real books a lot better than reading on a device.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Maybe I'm old fashioned, but that's how I like to do it.
Well, I think there's plenty of room in the library because they've been cleaning them out and there's a lot of bare shelves. So buy the book.
We do want to bring everything off the ground floor. We don't want books that low anymore. So ultimately, when we bring them up, that's going to be, but we'll find the room.
Yeah. All right. Well, that sounds good for that. Any other?
That's good. Then let's spend their money and save our money.
I like that idea. Okay, so for some of the adult books, you can use some of the money, the extra 20 grand to fill in for the adult books for the budget, okay?
Okay,
Is that good?
yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, because then that'll take care so that we don't,
Now, we're doing, just to confirm though, and I did reread everything for the Hamel Fund, we'll be doing that budget where we're adding the 20,000 in June, or
well, when are you gonna get the money? June?
no, we'll get it in March.
Okay, so then, we can make an allocation of, say, let's put in an extra, five or 10,000 from the Hamel Fund into adult books to get the adult books back in percentage online.
Can we do it for the children's books too? Because they have some pretty ugly hardcover books that are classics too.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. I think that we could set it up, do a distribution, and balance and even things out. Then you could show us and we'll go along from there.
Okay, when we get the actual money, I will be right on this and let you know. I think it's usually around March 17th, so hopefully we should have it by that board meeting, 2 board meetings from now.
Maybe we could save money and don't spend any money this month.
Well, we still have to spend, we still have to keep the $11,000 from the children and spend that, and we still have to spend, I mean, I don't have that much in the adult fund at this
We don't have
point.
to spend nothing. We don't have to spend nothing, to be honest.
We do have patrons that like me, that will call us and say, "Are you getting this book? I'd like it."
Well, oh well, life goes on.
Oh, Alex.
We can save money. We can save money during a pandemic, and wait till March and buy all the books. We'll be 30 days behind.
All right. Well, we have February spending and we have March spending. So what is it? Are we there yet? Okay, library spending. Are we there yet? Okay, so we're there. What is it you would like to do? Would you like to cut back?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't want to spend anything. If we're getting all this money, wait till March. Put the money.
But we still have money we have to spend, and we still have. What are you gonna? Like the new books that are coming out. What's the new one? The something. Shoot, what's his name? I mean, there are books that people have asked for that are new books that are coming out that are by legitimate people. I mean, Hildebrand, I don't read her, but Kristen Hanna. These are things that people. This is why we get people to circulate with us, and our circulation stats, bad as they are with curbside, are actually still better than Oxford's, than Derby's, Derby Next, and we actually hold our own with Shelton, considering how many people are in their community, and that's because we do order new books.
I'm only one person. I'm going to say no. I'm only one person.
Well, let me ask you this. Can we hold off on, can we cut back on the March spending? Would that be possible for now?
Yes.
Okay. So if you can cut March spending in half, right? So go to 1,000 on adult, 1,000 on juvenile, and keep DVDs at 500.
Okay. Now I will say too, though, do remember that the money, I've already sent them the remittance form saying that we've spent the full Hamel Fund for this year. So we do have to spend that fund, those funds.
All right, come April, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So everybody understands that. So February spending is going to be at the $5,000 level, and then we'll cut back in March. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I
and
say
then-
no. I say no, but that's my.
Okay, well, we'll
We'll have to make a.
okay, we'll go forward on that. Did you spend on February yet?
No.
Can you cut February down to 1,000 for adult and 1,000 for juvenile?
We can, yes. But once again, I'm going to have to say, we technically are supposed to, how much money is left in the Hamel Fund as it is for this year? Everything, the way that last year what we did with the Hamel Fund was we divvied it up into adult, juvenile, YA, and graphics. Those all can be considered print books, and they were all okay with that for the Hamel Fund. So that means that by the end of June, we need to spend whatever's there with that.
What's left?
20,000, 24,000, 20, about 24, about 30, I'm sorry, 25,000, is that right? No.
The books, adult, juvenile, young adults, and graphics, those totals are the Hamel Fund.
Yes. We were able to use the complete Hamel Fund for that without using other parts of the budget.
So this is the money that you're spending for the adult, the juvenile support is all Hamel money.
That's all.
Yeah, we usually get like 47.
Then I don't have a problem with it. Then we're not saving. If we have to spend it, we have to spend it.
Yeah, then,
And it has to be in books.
okay, then go back to your original totals, Suzanne.
Okay.
Both months?
Pardon?
For both months or just for
Yeah,
February?
for both months. Go back to the original totals, but do not exceed where you're at
Okay.
for the year, okay? And
Yep.
then for the extra money coming in, if there's additional that we may need to fill in to balance some of the adult books, then we'll take a look at it
Okay, thank you.
to bring that up, okay? Okay, questions on that? Okay, so can I have a motion with regards to the February spending?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, to approve, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Second,
Second.
okay. All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
I have a question. Because I don't know whether it goes under old business, new business, or what. But Suzanne,
Yes.
do we have a fax machine hooked up to the copier or anything like that?
Not yet, no. And the reason for that was that our number was ported over and we did try to get, it's a long story, but we did try to get funds through the board so that we could use them. But I think you guys were also unhappy with what had happened with them porting over our number. And ultimately, because they ported over our number, we went from the bracket from probably the 80s that said that we could have 3 telephone numbers for like $50. And now they'd be charging us another $40 a month for a line that would be for fax. Now, we'd love to do that if you guys are okay with us spending the money.
okay, so this would be, so then what you're talking about is, so for telephone, currently we're at $36.75 a month. And you're saying that would go up to what for an additional?
The last time I spoke to them, they said it would be a double. So we'd be paying for 2 lines, so that it would be like 36 or 40. But I'd have to talk to them again to find out.
Okay, can you please get a current total on adding a 4th line for the fax machine?
Yeah.
I'd like to get that in place. And then my question is that does the printer that you have, is that available for faxing that have a fax capability?
I look into it. At one point, I'm sorry, Alex?
Copy machine.
Yeah, I think
Copy machine.
in the beginning, I think we had the opportunity for it and we didn't have the line, so we didn't. But I do think that that was a possibility, so I'll check it and see if it still is.
Okay, and then can you just, if you could sum it up in an email, then we can make a motion and vote on it by
Okay.
email, and then this way you can get it up and running, right?
Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
I have a question, and this I'm going to direct to Alex. Have you heard anything about us being able to open up for computer appointments again?
Nope, I have heard nothing. I don't ask.
Okay.
Okay. Public comment.
No,
Jeff?
but I have 2 questions, real quick. Suzanne, what did you say an ebook costs?
So it can $7. It depends on the ebook, and it depends on the company that the author works for, like whether it's who publishes it.
Okay, I cut off right when you said the price. All I heard
I'm
was
sorry.
That was like what, like 140 a book?
140? Wow, okay.
Was that what you?
No, I think it was, I know that there was one title I looked at and it was 127, and then there was a company that was doing it for 40, but you would only get about 3 checkouts for it, and then it would evaporate.
Okay. And then my second question was, I know we voted on the change for the meeting minutes, but was there an actual vote for the fiscal budget vote, or was that just a discussion?
Was there a vote for what?
For number 11?
No,
I see. The budget that I'm going to turn into town hall tomorrow.
Okay. No, we do need to make a vote on that. Thank you for catching that.
Thank you.
So on the sheet that everybody has with the department detail by line items, look under the budget for fiscal year 2020, under purchase services adult ed, you see the 1583. That's going to come out, and then that'll drop the proposed budget to 52,120. Okay.
I see.
Okay. Can I have a motion?
I'll
So
make a
moved.
motion. I'll
Joyce.
second then. Let Alex take it.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Joyce and Alex. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. All right.
Joyce
Yes.
seconded and Alex made the motion?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
From my best source, it looks like the library could get patrons in the middle of March.
Well, that's better. That's not too much.
Wait, what did you say, Alex?
They might be able to start getting patrons back in the library by the middle of March.
March, okay. Just okay, so public comment. Was that your public comment, Jess?
I guess it was just, yeah, my questions. Yeah, I'll just write that down.
All right. Okay, so just a couple things. I went through, so we're on the items of interest and concern number 15, right? I went through yesterday's voices, a couple of things, and I'm glad, Suzanne, that you asked the question with regards to being able to open up. Friends of the Booth Library are planning a pop-up book sale now through January 30th in CH Booth Library.
That's Newtown.
Yeah, so they're having the Friends of the Library now have, I should flip it, but they have the plan a pop-up book sale. So we have to start thinking about, as we go forward, what we're going to do with stuff. Oxford is having a history of rock and roll library program. That'll take place at 2 p.m. on Saturday, January 30th. And that's going to be clips and live music with the author. So to the question of opening up, I'm looking at this and it looks like other libraries are starting to hold events. One thing that I thought was really awesome that I would probably race to be first in line is the Woodbury Public Library is going to have a virtual event titled Make the Most of Your Smart TV.
Actually, they're very good with those programs too. The guy that does them knows a lot.
Okay, so
Maybe we should hire him.
say that again?
Maybe we should hire him.
Yeah, that works for me. Ron Fairchild, the
Yeah, he's great.
reference and technology librarian. Suzanne, can you get in touch with him and see if?
Yeah, actually, I've asked him if he'd do a program for us, but I was kind of hoping that it would be when people could come back to the library.
Well, that's great, but I mean, I would take this for virtual because I definitely would.
With the Woodbury Library, you should be able to sign up for those, whether you're from Seymour or not.
I know,
Too.
I like Seymour.
No, we do too. We're having, I haven't had the time to put any of the flyers out yet, but we're having, and on our Chinese New Year, we're having Chef Bill from Massachusetts virtually teach people how to do dumplings and vegetarian dumplings and chicken dumplings and the dipping sauce. And that's going to be on February 8th. I have a couple of historic hauntings. We have a guy that traveled to oh my gosh, I can't say it. Kilimanjaro in April. And then we're doing some cooking programs. So those should be nice. And we're doing a couple of art programs to see how they're going to go.
What program?
And a couple of art programs to see how they're going to go. But I do think that the historic haunts, that's coming up, I think at the end of February. We're doing a Roaring Twenties, we're doing a Titanic, we're doing a Lusitania. And we did, I had a Matthews grant for programming, and I had to spend it. I wanted to hold off because I thought we would be able to until I didn't want to spend $3,000 within 3 months.
Do you know how long the Matthew grants are?
Dee told me that I understand that, and I understood that from you, and then Dee told me the same thing at one point, but she also told me, she called me up and with Mary and told me that we had to spend the money by May. So we did. Rebecca's doing a bunch of food programs for the kids with the nutritionists. We're going to do some of the adult programs for that too. But they gave us basically about 2 to 3 weeks to sign up everything. And we did. We managed to do it. But I don't know what's going on with the Mouthies and that it's changed, it seems.
Well, and last but not least, South Ferry Library Youth Services Department will host open house take and make Saturday craft. So they have craft things where I guess
Yep.
you have to stop by. I don't know if we've done that or if we've thought about
We
it.
do that a lot. We do a lot with Anne. Rebecca's been creating the little kits and putting them outside since we can't have them in the building. So we've been doing that a lot too.
Okay, that's.
She has been, I should say.
Okay, let's go round. Alex, anything?
You can do me last.
Do you last? Okay. Jean,
No,
no cruises?
yeah,
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Joyce?
Okay, yeah, I do. I'm gonna call Kendra tomorrow.
Okay, you got to wait. You got to be louder, babe.
I'm gonna call Kendra tomorrow at Ion Bank and
Yep.
find out if she could do anything with that credit card. If not, I'll be nice and tell her that we're considering going to People's Bank because I understand they could help us out.
Okay.
All right?
Yep.
And then I think you might have to go with me to People's Bank if we're gonna move that anything, because
Got
I
it.
think both our names are on paperwork at Ion Bank, and then close out the account. I think both of us have to sign off on it to
Okay.
move everything over to People's.
Just you know what? Let's one thing we should also check out is Liberty,
Yeah.
Okay,
because we have the accounts there.
count there, yes.
Well, there's a
And
lot
then-
more doing. There's a whole lot more doing that too, because you have to make a motion, and then you got a copy of your letter from your secretary that gave you permission to close the account and that thing. So
Yeah,
it's
no,
just
we've done this
it's-
before, Alex.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
I know it's a couple months process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Joyce, okay. Is that it, Joyce?
That's it. Oh, Alex, are you gonna send us the name of the person at People's Bank you want us to contact?
Yes. I'll send it to Paula, and she'll send it to you.
Okay, great.
Just one question, Alex. You're a 501c3?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, Jess, anything?
No.
Okay. Alex?
Okay.
I like your cat.
Oh,
I know, I do too.
It's bothering.
It's all right.
She thinks she's a member.
It's no problem. That's all good. There's a few things I just want to go over at the library. I'm getting some pricing from Fascioni to paint the whole building. I'm going to see if we could try to get some. There's a million grants out there that we could probably apply for, but I'm trying to get pricing for everything first,
okay.
because you don't know where to go or who to talk to, who to apply till you start getting pricing.
Okay. I want, if you're gonna,
Great.
We're good.
Alex, what I'd like to do also is I have another Painting Company, because I'm gonna tell you, Falcione did downstairs, and I am not impressed or satisfied.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you, so I would.
I don't
like
have,
you
I have no ties to anybody that I call, so it doesn't matter to me.
Okay, then check out Petinella Painting out of Oxford.
Get me text me their information.
I will send it to you.
I'm trying to get some low sup money for sidewalks in front of the building.
Oh, cool.
Trying to see. I mean, here's the thing. I'm just trying to see. I know we did a lot of electrical work, but there was some more stuff that could have been done. That could have been added. I'm just asking that if we do projects, like you said before, we should all sit down. We all have expertise in some kind of form or something to make it work a lot better and help with getting grant money. So, you know,
this grant was totally different in that it was for bringing people into the building, and there were many things that were not approved because if you try to, but in any case, what you're talking about, there are a lot of grants that are matching grants. Now, I've only considered town hall for these things because but is that possible if there was a good grant and it was a matching grant where they would pay 50% and the board would pay 50%, that would be an option?
If it's something that's feasible that we can use.
Then I'll look into them because there's some good ones out there. I'm sorry.
Perfect example is you're getting 73,000. Whatever. Don't quote me on the number. It's from this for your
Hamel Fund.
Book.
Yeah.
Hey, they write the check out to the board, don't they? We put it in our account.
It goes into us. It's the Seymour Public Library, but that's what you guys are.
How about we get a grant to match that, and we have $140,000 in ebooks.
Say that again?
So if there's a grant that can match buying ebooks or buying equipment, for these ebooks or the books.
Yeah.
50%. We put in 50%. They put in 50%. Maybe we get $140,000 in books.
But you'd be putting out $30,000 at that point, or so.
We have to spend the money they're giving us anyway.
You know what? And I have to say, I do want you to come up with how much it would be for the ventilation system, because I am going to look for a grant for that. Because
okay, but hold on, let's talk about the books still. We're getting off track.
Okay.
So, if say we get this money, is there anything that matches the purchase of ebooks or regular books or CDs or anything like that?
Nothing that I know of, but I see what you mean. You mean we'd be putting our Hamel Fund up for the 50%, not the board money for the 50%. I got it. Thank you.
Because they're giving us to us anyway, so we're not doing anything with our money.
Yep, got it.
Doesn't hurt to try.
No, and it's possible that because of COVID, there may be more grants out there than there used to be. It may not, but only there could be.
But the other thing I was going to say, Suzanne, is that if there are grants out there that you're considering or that you're interested in or whatever, I would appreciate it if you would share it with the board, because we might be able to figure something out.
Paula, I would. And I mean, like I said, this was a very quick grant. I got an email saying I could apply for it, and I mean, the money had to be gone in like a month and a half or we were going to lose it. So I did talk to Tim, and that was who they told me to talk to. They said, talk to your people at town hall. So ultimately, I do usually talk to you guys. They're a long process to apply for the grants sometimes.
I used to do it at Housatonic. That's why I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm laughing because I was thinking maybe if I would love help on the grant process, because it's so, there's so many deadlines and sometimes things come up.
I got it, but I mean, I'm willing to help you, and if you tell me about it, I'll do what I can to either help write the grant, get the information, do some of the stuff, because that's part of what I used to do.
Thank you. I do have a question about the library. Is there a possibility that you would work on that other, how you fixed the donation plaque?
Yeah, I have that. I was going to see about coming in one day next week so I can take the thing down and fix it and see how it comes out. Yeah.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
To fix what?
the,
Donation plaque from the 1994 edition.
Why don't we get a nice wooden thing, have grand concept, mimic that thing on like a nice vinyl thing, so it'll look nice, and just put it back on the wall.
no, Alex, this is nice. It just came unglued. It's not a big.
They're all wavy. They're all
I'm gonna
wavy.
take
They're all
care
washed.
of it, Alex. Alex.
What?
Paula did the one side and it looks gorgeous. And that's why the other side looks so bad now.
All right, then fix it. I'll bring it. You want me to bring it to you?
Tomorrow morning, he's going right now to get it.
Like, 7 a.m. I'll kill it. Yeah, no, I'll go by and what you could do is take it off the wall for me. There's 2 screws on the top and 2 screws on the bottom. The last person who had taken it down was somebody who was not vertically challenged, and they used their phone to see where the screws were, and they got it out in about 2 seconds. Okay, what else? Anything else?
I'm good.
Okay, Suzanne, anything else?
No, thank you guys very much.
Okay, good enough then. I think that's it. That's all I got for right now. I think we covered absolutely.
Pretty.
What?
Pretty.
Nice dog. All right.
Carla.
Mine's locked out. Anyways, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay.
Second,
Okay, 7:19.
Go outside.
Joyce. Or Alex and Joyce. All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, good to go. All right, not bad.
Thank you guys.
All right, thanks. Be careful. It's going to be cold. Don't forget to watch football this weekend so you know who's in Super Bowl. And I think that's it. Okay?
Have a
Okay,
good night. Take care.
Good.
good
Bye,
night.
guys.
Susan,
Bye.
hold on one
Bye-bye.
sec.
Bye.
Yep.
Yeah, can you hold on one sec?
Sure.
All right, ta-ta. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay,
Good night.
bye. Oh, shit. Ima. Ah.
Oh, these look really nice. New?
These are the ones you got to get. These are the gravity defiers.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Where did you get those?
I ordered them online. There was, I'll see if I can find the ad in AARP. Suzanne.
I am an AARP member. I can look too.
Well, read it and look up G Defy for gravity. Suzanne, these things are These are gravity defier. These things are freaking great.
Thank you. I have to say, Paula, after we did the last meeting, it came up that I was going to apply for grants. I ended up talking to Mary. She told me about this person. I did not mean to do it in a way that would diss you or Peter, because I really did like Peter. But I also thought it was a free thing and the way to go, and that he could still come in when he wanted to.
Well, here's the thing. He was with the, I don't know.
Well, I thought, look, you talked to him more than I did. I liked him tremendously. I don't want to cut off the library's nose.
No, he had some stuff he needed to get done, and he was going to have the thing done by Christmas. So I think it would go significantly faster with him. But if there's somebody to use, that's great. But
Look, I don't want to.
I wanted to know, what are her qualifications? How good is she?
Shoot, hold on one second.